Hi, this is Saranyan. I'm going to explain you how to clear Certified Kubernetes Administrator. This also covers the new PSI bridge which has been launched in the month of June. Okay, let's start. Okay, so what are the things I'm going to cover? Basically, the recommended preparation, okay, suggested in killer.sh, how I prepared, and exam day and before what I did, exam preparation tips, and then what are the testing changes that has happened and how to prepare yourself for that, and other thing is mistakes to avoid and tips, discounts related to the exam and also to the preparation, and then other related things to the exam like postponement attempts, etc., and also details about the exam results. Okay, let's start. So what is the recommended preparation? Recommended preparation as per the killer.sh is to study all the topics in the curriculum, do 1 or 2 test session with the CKA simulator, set up all the aliases, majority of the tasks. You can read through this basically. So this is a list of things suggested by killer.sh. Let me show you what I did. Okay, so I took a course from Mumshad Munambat. There are other people also who are doing like Nana, and also there is the official Linux Foundation course also for CKA. So I did Mumshad Munambat's CKA 3 times, and then GitHub basically containing CKA AD exercises, so that I am familiar with all the command line prompts things. So I did this 2 times, and then some other things like patching up pod, POC, PVC, etc. But also I listened to some podcasts related to Kubernetes and administration, Unix commands. So I will be covering this later. So what and all I did, and then mock exam, which comes free along with the exam certification for which you paid with Linux Foundation. Okay, so you get 2 times mock exam. Each mock exam is actually for 2 hours and contains the same questions. So basically you can go through the mock exam, meaning do the mock exam, and it is slightly difficult than the actual exam, and even after 2 hours you can continue solving the problems, so that you understand what kind of problems we get and how to resolve it. And the screen is actually the session is valid for around 36 hours, and whatever you are not able to do, you can try to see the solution and do it also. And one more thing is like you can start it maximum 24 hours before 24 hours of the exam. So if your exam is on Sunday 11 p.m. Maximum you can start the exam uh, at 10 or 11 a.m. Saturday. Okay, so but you can start, say for example next month you have the exam, you can start anytime now, but last 24 hours you cannot start. So first exam you can do it after completing all the preparations from CKA by any Mumshad or Nana or the official one, and then you can do the GitHub, and then you can do some patching pod, PVC, etc., and Unix commands. So after that you can do the killer.sh once. So once you are ready, you are able to identify the problems you are facing, like the things you need to understand more, you can try to do those things as well, complete whatever things additionally you have to prepare, and then the next one, last one, you can take 24 hours or 25 hours before the exam. Okay, so or maybe even for 36 to 40 hours before the exam. Okay, because it is validity is around 36 hours. So if you have an exam on 11 p.m. Sunday, you can take the second mock at around 10 or 11 a.m. Saturday. So that way your killer.sh is available till near to the exam. So you can do some practices also there. Okay, and it also has the latest UI. So that will also be useful for you. Okay, the next point, exam day and before, what I did before the exam day. So there is an preview of exam environment, so which is for 1 hour. 2 days prior to the exam, I tried to get the preview of the new exam screen. So this is the URL. I will provide a screenshot and also of that. I will provide the link also in the description. So I just went through that and I did some practice, like how to use the mouse pad over there, because mouse pad is something similar to the notepad, and uh, also you can do copy paste things like that. Okay, so practice of the actual exam. Okay, and also on the day of exam I did some practice test last couple of hours on the below, like lightning exam, mock exam, etc., so that we are well prepared for the exam. Hi, so let's see the exam preparation tips. So regular study and practice is very important. Practice is very important because that's how you get the speed. Okay, so exam is for 2 hours, so speed is very important. Okay, so practice regularly. Another thing to get the speed or complete things within 2 hours is like always try to do commands imperatively to the maximum. Certain commands may not be available imperatively, so even in those cases you can try to do it partially with imperative way, and then make the changes in the resultant YAML. For example, you can create the deployment with the image and the replicas, and then make whatever changes, like adding init containers or whatever extra is needed. Maybe you can also, instead of directly creating the deployment, you can also have the dry run is equal to client, get the YAML, make the modifications like adding init containers or whatever additional memory, whatever extra is needed. So you can do that, commands or something like that. So you can do that and get the YAML and create the particular thing. Okay, and this link, okay, the CKA exercises will help you have better control on the imperative command. So make sure that you practice it at least 2 times. Okay, and regarding preparation, I had a lot of gaps due to work and sometimes due to my own laziness. So avoid and try to have continuous regular study and practice. Okay, sometimes there will be frustration when we do this work, but remember, any small progress is also progress. So try to make have progress, and that will be good in completion also. And also I had some problems in Mumshad Munambat's course. Overall the course is good, but HCD restored, sometimes it worked, sometimes it did not. So the link below also mentions that error, and also the solution also. You can check that. I will paste it in the description, and try to cover all the topics mentioned in the syllabus, so which is very important, because you never know what you will get. And then Unix have some basic commands like sudo set number, like for example this will be useful for debugging. Say for example you create a YAML and try to apply, you might see that at line number 14 or 32 you have a problem. So you can open the YAML and use set number and find out what is there on that line or before and after that, and you will be able to easily debug. You can general VI editor, insert, delete, whatever operations are there, you will have to be familiar with that as far as Unix is concerned. And then any command in Unix or kubectl, you can try to do the help option in the command line to get further options. So this will be also useful in case where kubernetes.io is very slow. So you can just for example kubernetes kubectl run -h will give the help options, the various options available, and then manual of ns lookup, for example, for Unix command. Okay, so these will be useful. And in case you are not able to do some commands due to permission, do sudo -i and try. And also be careful when you do exit command, so that you don't completely come out of the exam, multiple exits. So because you will get into some cluster and then inside that some machine. So be careful that you come back to the proper place with exit, but don't do multiple exits, so that you don't exit the complete exam. So be careful on that. So new exam environment. Okay, so new exam environment I'll be showing you. So this is the new exam environment. Okay, this is the preview. So you have an option to go to this link and get a preview. So this is this is an interface similar to the 1.6 which was created from 6th month 2022. You can try out things like using the UI and doing copy paste, etc. Okay, so you can sign in with any of the option, GitHub, GitLab, Google, email, etc., and you have 1 hour time over there. Okay, so this is the simulator. Okay, so exam environment change. Okay, so basically you will have a mouse pad instead of the notepad, and then you will have a Firefox browser inside. Okay, so there are some limitation, like you cannot put a control F and search within the screen. So question related exam links. So basically what happens is you have a question related to HCD restore, for example, I'm telling. So there will be a link to kubernetes.io in the exam question itself. So you will have that link, you can go to that link. Only thing is you have a limitation, like you cannot put as control F and search within that, so that you have to remember. So and then mouse pad is also available, which is similar to the notepad, and then you have a Firefox browser there. Important consideration is like basically copy paste. How you do is I did via right click. I did right click and copy from the documentation, and right click and paste it either in the mouse pad or VI. So you can keep things in the mouse pad. It's like your notepad only. You can keep it over there and make some changes and then copy to VI. Sometimes when I did copy from mouse pad to VI, alignment got lost. So if I remember it correctly, I had done sudo VI. So that time I had problems. So what you can do is so I will tell you one more thing, like the problem I faced, like whenever I had to write, say for example, kubectl create deployment, whatever engine Nx image name, and then try client, uh, okay, try run is equal to client, and then when I OYAML, when I try to write it to a file, I get permission in it, which I will explain. So you can do sudo and chmod before itself and use a normal UI. Okay, so I will just show you the I had already shown you the screenshot, but just again you can see it. You can use the link. I will put the link also in the description. So this will give you an interface similar to the 6/2022 interface. Okay. So next thing is mistakes which I did and which you need to avoid. See, for example, HCD cluster or anything you are recovering, you are trying to do anything on that. If you are updating and things are not coming, just wait for some time. But still, if it does not come, please revert and get the cluster up, because there will be multiple clusters and you will be doing other than the HCD or things like that restore. For example, I am giving, and if you fail to bring it up, the other questions also may have problems. So if you are not seeing the HCD not coming, so you may have to revert the things and then get it back to working stage. So that you have to remember. Okay, so partially correct answer. So if you are having a problem in a question and you are not able to fully do it, or you are not understanding it, try to do partially at least, because partial answers do get marks. Okay, so if you are able to create a pod and volume, do it, but if you are not able to do something related to say unique container or something else which they are given, you can at least create a pod and a volume and you will get some partial marks. And also make sure that you do it in the correct context, whatever work you are doing. Okay, even creating pod, deployment, whatever it is, copy the correct context. First thing that you have to do is get the correct context, get into it, and then do whatever question is given. Okay, so don't do it in the wrong context. Okay, so that is very important. If you do only in the correct context, you get marks. Okay, so otherwise you don't get. Even if you do the mock exam from killer.sh or preview, you will be clear. Okay, time is important. I took a long time for the first 6 questions, and then finally I did have less time only to review. So you will need to be careful on that. Issues are mentioned in the Linux foundations. Some of them they have already resolved. Say they have slowness issue, and also they have now local regional thing established. So I will put the link on that. Okay, so you can check that. So I had some slowness issue. So when I was taking photo ID card, right, so initially we have to show our ID card. So taking a snap itself was difficult as it was slow, and then it was taking 2 to 3 seconds, etc. when I was typing, etc. So just before starting the exam, I asked the proctor that and told that the system is slow, He told he or she, I don't know the person actually because we were not interacting via voice. So told several steps like refreshing, but it did not work. Then I asked for closing and opening the browser. So the proctor agreed. This time I opened my browser with admin option, right click and open as administrator. And then all these slowness disappeared. Most probably it could be something like your machine or your maybe if you're using a company laptop, it might be something like some control is running there in the background and it is stopping or making the slowness. So try to do something like this and your slowness will be mostly gone, and better discuss with your proctor in case you face any slowness. Okay. So issues in the exam environment, as I told earlier, I had some problems like if I do kubectl get parts, put the YAML into a file, I was getting permission denied. Okay, so what I did was I created the file using sudo vi abcxy, and also I had to change the mode. Okay, so that I am able to read, write, and whatever do execute. So I did maximum, give the maximum permission 777. You can give also 666 to the file. Then when I did kubectl get parts and the output as an YAML, I was able to do it fine. Okay, so remember this because you might face this problem. Okay, so you have to do this option. So first itself create via vi sudo the file, and then the mode you change, and then do it. Okay. The other thing what I want to tell is don't directly create a copy from the documentation from in the sudo vi, because the alignments get changed. So do like this: sudo vi, then change the mode, give the permissions and 777 or 666, and then whatever you want to write it, and then for example deployment or something, and then make the modification. Okay, so now it will work fine after you do this sudo vi and chmod. The exam duration is for 2 hours. Okay, discounts. Okay, so exam preparation, Udemy, I prepared from Udemy, Mumshad Munammad's course. So time to time there will be discounts in Udemy. So discount was up to 90%, up to 90% also sometimes they offer. So you can choose the time and buy. Okay. So exam fees is around $395. So there will be frequent discounts on their site. So keep watching for that. So there is also Cyber Monday sale or Black Friday sale also happening. So that time you get around 50% discount also. So remember that. Maybe you can get, in case you are preparing on, meaning paying on your own, you can check this option and do it. And how long does it take to prepare? So topic which takes time, basically there are some topics from the developer background which takes time, like networking, CSR, and some Unix commands if people are not familiar with the Unix commands. So these things will take some time. So networking, many of the courses cover the basics of networking, CSR, etc. So it might take some time, so you need not get frustrated. So as I told earlier, slow progress is also progress. So try to do this. So it is quite normal to have some delays in these areas. So other information related to exam is like postponement of exam. You can postpone your exam as many times as you want. You will have to do it 24 hours before the scheduled exam. Okay, in case you want to refresh some topics or not confident on something, please feel free to postpone the exam. Okay, so just make sure that you do it 24 hours before the exam. You can do it multiple times, and then attempt wise you have 2 attempts to clear the exam, but you will have to remember that if you fail in the first attempt, then you get the second chance. In case you are absent, then you won't get the second attempt. So try to make sure that you do the first attempt. Okay, meaning you always attempt the exam, and so that even in case you fail also you get a second chance. Okay, photo ID proof, keep the necessary ID proof ready with the same name as you have given for the exam. And then related to the exam area, keep it clutter free, as you'll have to show the complete room to the proctor. Also, if possible, have it in a room where nobody will enter, or if not, at least have your exam at a time, say midnight or something, and people at your place are asleep. You should have minimum disturbance, so noise and other things should not be there. Okay, and as far as what you can have is like you can have water from a transparent water bottle. I will just paste the below link. Okay, so you can check the link and see what is allowed, not allowed, how you should be ready for the exam, like what the exam area should be. Okay, I will paste this link in the description. Okay, so there are a lot of important links which I will be pasting in the description and also explain what is it for. Okay, so I did complete the exam in July 2022, which is the using the latest interface. So I was able to do it, and you can also do it too. And if you have any queries, do post in the comment section. I will try to help you out. Best of luck. Hope you clear the exam soon. Any questions? Let me know in the comment section. I will try to help you. Thanks.